Well, hello, my name is Ralph and welcome back to the channel. It's my time, let's go. I hope you'll enjoy our content, and today we're going to bring you some more content. We're working on Gus's shovel today, and as you know, we've taken it apart and everything looks pretty cruddy. Now, probably the worst part of doing any kind of engine work or any kind of bike work is the fact that you have to clean everything. And as you've seen in our last episode, we had to get all the gaskets off it. Today we're going to glass bead the heads, get them ready so that I can get the valve guides that are bad out of it. I don't like to punch them out until I get all the carbon off the end of the guide. If you drive it through with a bunch of carbon buildup on the outside of it, it can actually score the hole up going through when it comes out. And we don't want that to happen. So anyway, follow us along and we're gonna get at blasting these heads and see if we can make them nice and clean to work with. All right. So now that we've got the heads all bead blasted, we can get a better look at see what's going on. And getting all the carbon out of the valves and getting all that out really lets you see what it's like. And these are what the heads look like now. They're a lot nicer. I've stuck the intake valves in and my intakes look really well. My exhaust is pretty rattly. And boy, that's a hard one to show you, but you can hear how wiggly they are in the exhaust. So we definitely need a couple exhaust valves, and I'll clean those up. And I want to check my depth measurements on these to see just how far the valves are sticking up. Boy, my camera's having quite a day today. Sun's coming in and out. Can't control the weather. But we're gonna go along, and before I get oversized valves and stuff for it, I'm gonna check my stem heights and see where I'm at, because it seemed like they were out a little bit, but not a whole lot. I think what's happened to these heads, it looked like somebody's hit them with grinding stones. So they might not be down there, in there as far as they appeared to be at first. It's just the outsides have been cut away so much that it looked like they were way down in. What I'll do is check how far my valves are sticking up through, my valve stem protrusion, and that will give me a good idea where these valves are at. And then I can decide whether to just get a set of regular valves or whether to get a set of oversized valves for these heads. So that's what we're gonna have to work along and do. So just so you know, the measurement comes from the boss area here, right from the boss to the top of the valve stem. That's your valve stem protrusion height. So since the exhaust is what I'm worried about, I'll stick one in there first. Even though the guide is worn out, it will give me my height. I'll take a measurement right from the flat of the head to the top of the valve. If I find these are all right, I'll just grind them, seat them. Well, after I put the new guides in, of course. Grind them, seat them, and then take a measurement. And if it's only a matter of 10 or 20 thou, I can always do that with the spring pack by shimming it up just a little bit to make up the difference. You can't go too high up in the shovel, so they'll start hitting the rocker boxes. But these are within spec, so we're talking here, you know, 20 thousandths of an inch. So the oversized valves are that, 20, and they'll come out, and then I can seat it down to the right height at what I need. Okay, and I'll take a quick check on my intake. 670. So they are up in there a little ways. But I don't want to really put an oversized intake in it. there's really not much need, and I think that I can shim the valve pack to make up the difference and we'll be okay. After all, it is this old shovel. All right, we'll get back to you. We're going to keep working away on this old shovel head. Now today, we've got the timing hole stripped on the case. And what we have to do is fix it because it's stripped. They say it can be done on the bike, but I like to do that off the bike, and it's hard to keep the chips out of the motor. We're going to use this, which is a tap and a cap. It's 11/16 tap with a special acorn nut to replace the one that you have on it. So today we're going to set it up in the mill and get it lined up dead center, and then we're going to run this through it and see if we can fix this hole. So stick with us and let's get at it. So we're getting things set up at our mill here today, and we're trying to fix the timing plug hole that's in here that's stripped out. Now we've got this little tap that they sent with the kit, but first we've got to drill the hole out to tap drill size to get so that we can put the tap in it. I've got it pretty well lined up where I want it there. Let's just do it. I'll lock my table down so nothing can move on me, and we're going to take a light cut there to just clean up the hole. See how we're cleaning up all around? Yeah, looks like we got a nice clean cut there. So we'll continue. We've got a little center here. I'm going to put in my chuck. And I've taken the tap and the lathe and I've put a small indentation in it, in the center of it, so that I can bring my center down, hopefully. Okay. Now let's do the light turn and see if we can get it started. Okay, I'll stop and check it. See how we're coming here. Okay, we're looking okay. I just want to make sure that we're getting a nice clean cut in there. I probably could walk it down in there, but if anything messes up. Looking good so far. awful close to the primary case there. This makes it a bit of a pain, but more of a pain if the hole wasn't fixed. It's not hitting it. I would have got an Allen if they were available, but they're not. But that looks great. The hole's repaired. We got a nice surface there. As you can see, it goes in there nice and easy. Just can't really go in there by hand. And I'm more concerned with a good seal than I am with being able to spin it in by hand. Yeah, nice. So that gives you an idea how to fix that timing plug hole. As you can see what we went through and the amount of chips that are there, you certainly wouldn't want to do it on your motor because there's no way that you could keep the chips out of the engine. I did it with my other tool, but with this, there's no way. The motor would be full of chips, and even in the instructions it says do not do on the motor. So for those of you that thought I was going to do it right on the engine, sorry, but I'm not taking the chance on it. And now we've got a nice clean hole, and this has been repaired the way it should be, and the customer will be very happy with it. All right. You can see on the back side of it there the amount of chips that was caused just by the last few cuts. So there's no way you could do it on the bike. But now that it's in there, it's a nice clean plug hole, and it's in there the way it should be, and it should last for many years to come. Today we're going to be working away at getting Gus's flywheels apart, checking the bearings inside, and then we're going to measure and mic everything up, decide what to put in it for bearings, and then we're going to put it back together and true it. So stick with us. Alright, let's see if we can get her to move. There we go. That was the easy part. Now trying to separate the flywheels is what can be a pain in the ass. And I expect that these are well on there, being from S&S. So we'll try to give her a few smacks and see if we can break it loose. Alright, some modifications. So now we got our puller set up here. Be very careful when you're pulling this bearing not to be down be underneath the shoulder underneath. So you have to look in here and make sure that you're just on the bearing. We'll try to get her off. There we go. Here we go. Now we can heat the area without worrying about burning up the bearing or anything. And we're going to put new bearings in it anyway, so I'm off to get some heat and see if we can get it apart, and we'll take it from there. Today we're working away on this bottom end here, and we've taken some measurements from the crank pin, and we've also measured on the rods to see what we got going here. And from here to here, this way to this way, we've got about 1.5 thou difference. So the first thing we're going to have to do is size the bottom of these rods, the the female and the male one, the same size, so that when they go together, they're one size. From there, we can figure out what we need for bearings for the bottom end. Now, this crank pin is worn down a ways, so I may be replacing it. But in any case, I need to have these sized out to a size in order to get the bearings that I need for them. So that's going to be the first task today. So we'll get along with it, and away we go. We'll go over to our our little honing machine over here, which is hard to get a shot of, back in the corner. But I'm going to work away at it and see what I can do. So we just keep honing them out, and we keep working on the ends of our rods here to make sure they're the right size. This way and this way. And we're getting pretty close now, but I keep checking as I go. You have to take your time with this. Close there now. Just needing a little bit more, so we'll go back to the machine and hone it a little more. Okay, that should have it. You gotta go slow. You know, I haven't got a $100,000 machine, I just have my old home machine, but it works very well. So now we'll measure them up. And now we're coming there. Well, now that we got our rod ends honed out so that they're nice and round and cleaned up from what they were, now we can order the proper size bearings by measuring this and measuring these and deciding what size bearing we need to fit in there. But they're looking really good. They were out of round, about a thou, so this has cleaned them right up and giving them a nice surface to begin with again. So we just take it off little by little and wipe it out next time. And that's what we're looking for to get it right on that zero mark, is 625. That's what we've been shooting for here, and it was undersized under the other side. Okay, top to bottom, other way, top to bottom, same thing. Flip it and make sure we're straight on this side as well. Should be, because the whole rod was put on there. 0, 0. And we'll check it top to bottom as well. 0, 0. So now we know that the bottom of this rod is concentric all the way around, and we can figure out our sizes by measuring our crank pin and measuring this hole and deducting and doing what's got to be done to figure out what size bearings we need for this. But these had to be round to start with, and they weren't round. So looks like we're ready to move on from there. All right, we got our calculations all figured out. I've stuck a set of 4 thou over bearings in here just so I can try them. I cleaned everything up and to see what kind of fit I got. 4 10,000ths, sorry. There we go. I got a bit of grease in there, so, but seems to fit really nice. So I think that's what we're going to go with. I'm going to have to order special bearings for these, as the small bearing, the little short bearing that goes into these parts of the cage, actually 329 thou long. Now your regular bearings for aluminum cages are only like $2.95. So I'm having a hard time sourcing these rollers. The long rollers are the same length. They're 0.585, I think is what they are, thou, which are the same as the ones used in an aluminum cage. But in the steel cage, the small rollers are bigger. So we'll have to source those out. These ones were 4 10,000ths of an inch over, and it's just a nice fit. It's just a nice fit, and that's what I want to go for. I'm not forcing the rod down on it. The rod's going down on it nice and easy, like that. And we don't have much play here. So that's what we're going to go with. I'll order them up tomorrow, and then we'll have them, and then we'll be able to stick the bottom end back together, and away it'll go. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video today, subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell, do those kind of things. We like to see new subscribers, and we like to see the channel growing. It gives us initiative to keep on going and keep on going, and that's what we plan to do. So if you want to see us around for a while, subscribe, tell your friends, pass us around. All right, that's it for today.